You want to take your turd fishing game to the next level? You want to know the little secrets between the different turd baits? You want to know different ways to work the turd bait? Come along, let's go. Japanese dudes, man, they come up with some crazy names, and this company has a swim bait named the Karen. So here we go. Today we're throwing the OSP Spin Nuts 80. There we go. Oh, hell no. You know, if I was to name this bait, this is what I'd name it.
Oh, cause some came in the mail today.
Yeah, I did.
These nuts. Yeah! Got him!
This is Northern Strain Style. Hit that like and subscribe, and let's go.
I'm a fishing man out on the lake. I got a boat full of tackle and a pole that'll never break. Well, over on the lake in a shady little nook sat a sweet little thing trying to bait her hook. The way she looked in her bathing tan, I almost forgot I was a fishing man, but I'm a fishing man out on the lake. All you need is a line and a pole that'll never break.
All right, the Spin Nuts 80. These dudes are wild. They think of, you know, they hear some words in English and they think it's funny, and they gotta name some baits after it. Which is cool. All right, let's look at the OSP Spin Nuts 80 first. So it's 3.2 inches long. It weighs half an ounce, and they recommend a 5/0 hook with it. Now, this one is designed pretty cool. It's semi-flat up top, and then it's got the hook dots right there. And then on the bottom side, it's got a big fat belly on it, and then the hook slot there. But it's skinny up front, and then gets wider in the back. Now, this bait was designed for being able to walk the dog subsurface or walk it down on the bottom. So I got a 5/0 hook out here. Owner wide gap. This OSP Spin Nuts, it's skinny up front, fat in the back. So what you do is rig it right through that point right there. Bring her down. Then you got this slit here. Texas rig it, weightless. Pinch that in there, she skips like a rock. Now, since Depths came out with the cover scat first, you know, everybody came out with a turd bait. G-Crack did, Duo did. There's a few USA companies that did. Missile Baits came out with one. And now this bait for me is just like the Yamamoto Cinco. The original just seems to be a little bit better than all the others, in my opinion. This was designed to walk underneath subsurface and, you know, on the bottom. And you can also like drag these baits. You can just let them free fall down, and you can work it on the bottom and then give it a pop up and have it shoot up and then come back down to the bottom. Now you can do that with all these turd baits. And honestly, the Depths Cover Scat walks so much better for me. It'll stay horizontal the whole time. It won't be like turning over and shooting up, and you know, it'll walk like a topwater walking bait, and at least that's just my experience with it. So this is one of those cases where I recommend sticking with the original, the Depths Cover Scat, and I like the 3.5 inch. There we go. Let's be spin nuts getting it done. Another thing too is with these turd baits, you're gonna get a lot of line twist, you know. And one of the things I've been playing with is with these ring hooks. You know, it's got the swivel up on top of the EWG hook there, and what that does, it just lets the hook stay balanced. Or what it does is, you know, the swivel will take all the twist out of your line, and I haven't had a hookup ratio problem or anything, so I think I'm going to start throwing my turd baits exclusively on this. Let me know what you guys use for hooks on your turd baits. There we go. I knew there had to be one there. Oh, bugger. These turd baits are really versatile too. I mean, when they first hit the market, you heard a lot about them, but now you don't really hear people talking about them too much. And I mean, they're awesome baits. You can work them from the shoreline to out deep, just depending on how patient you want to be, because like I said, they take a while to get to the bottom. But from skipping docks to hitting offshore humps, man, it's a killer bait and a killer technique to clean up these fish after you've done wiped them out on a crankbait or a jig. There we go. Way up under there, little bugger. I'm throwing it on a 7.5 medium heavy. I'm going 20-pound fluorocarbon and an 8-to-1 gear ratio. Now with that 7.5 rod, I can bomb this bait way out there, because this bait's a ½ ounce on its own. I don't need a weight with it or anything, right? So you can bomb it way out there. And I got that 8-to-1 gear ratio to catch up to these fish, because sometimes they'll hit it like, sometimes they'll hit it when it's just falling. Sometimes they'll just hit it when it's falling right off the cast, and it'll be a little hard to detect the bite way out there if they start swimming towards you. So you want that high gear ratio to keep up with these fish and get a good hook into them. And the 20-pound fluorocarbon line is for, now when you fish these baits on the bottom, you basically let your line sink down to the bottom too, because that bait's going to pull your line down to the bottom. So it may take you know, 5 minutes for your bait to get down to the bottom, but once it's down on the bottom with that heavy fluorocarbon line, it's going to stay on the bottom. So then you don't, you know, you can work your bait and not have to wait 5 more minutes for it to be on the bottom. And with that 20-pound fluorocarbon line, you know, if you're going over rocks or snags and stuff, it's going to be more abrasion resistant and, you know, not break or fray on you. There we go. Isolated pads. Oh, this piece spin once. All day.
When are we gonna get paid for this, you right?